I guess I've spent about 26 years in the auto industry, and like all of us, we start out as a salesperson and we work our way through the ranks as a sales manager, assistant sales manager, and so forth and so on. So I've had a pretty successful career, and I'm very proud of the fact that I have. And as far as the auto industry, to be honest with you, it is a career. It's not a job. And even when I hire people, I tell them that if you want to come work here and you want to work here because it's a job, then I don't need you, because I believe it's the greatest profession in the world. The industry has changed, but it hasn't changed a lot. You're always going to be selling, and the truth of the matter is you're really not selling a product. You need to know about your product, but basically it's the people business. And you can take this experience in the auto industry into many other professions, which I certainly know people that have insurance and mortgage. It's a great learning field, but where it's changed, you really need to be, you need to treat people really good. You need to treat people honest. And I guess we have a reputation. Maybe the industry has deserved that reputation. But there's a lot of ways to sell cars, and if you sell it with integrity and you're honest and you want to treat people right, it really hasn't changed that much. I got in this business in September of '78, and I was fortunate that I became a top salesman right off the bat from my very first month, and I took a pride in the fact that I was the #1 salesman in the largest store in the country, and that's under one roof. It's really, to be honest with you, from roof to roof, from left to right. We did sell approximately 12 or 13,000 retail cars. So I took myself, put myself in a position where I needed to sell, and I took pride in selling, and I took pride in basically being #1. And then I became an assistant manager and a manager, and the pride I take in it, and I guess in the 25 years I've been in the business, only one dealership a year can say they're the largest. And we look in the newspaper every week and everyone says they're the largest Volvo or the largest Chrysler. There's only one of the largest dealership in the world that year. And so there's probably about 40,000 new car dealers, or have been over the years. There's only one manager in the United States per year that can say he's the largest. So I know there's probably been 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 million salespeople. So I'm proud to say that probably in the last 20 years, I'm one of 20 people that ran the largest store in the world. So I take pretty much a bunch of pride on that. And that pride and self-satisfaction motivates me. Listen, I guess I was successful for a lot of reasons. One, I mean, I had the need to succeed. I was certainly hungry, and we all hear from that, you know, one of the best salespeople in the world are the ones that are most hungry. But I'm a meat and potatoes type guy. You know, I'm not flashy. I'm not going to dazzle you. I'm going to run meetings, which I've run, you know, hundreds or thousands, and I may put you to sleep. But if you follow the basics in this business, and if you're goal-oriented, and you need to be goal-oriented because you can't reach a goal unless you set a goal. You need to have pride in yourself, pride in your manufacturer, pride in your dealer principal. You need to be happy that you're in that dealership. You need to, you have to surround yourself with winners. If you surround yourself with negative people, then that's not going to work. You need to care not only about yourself, but your fellow person, about your customer. And if you do the basics, and I always tell people, if you work hard in this business, you're going to be okay. If you work smart in this business, you're going to be okay. But you'll never make it to the top. You'll never make it to the top of the ladder. And how do you do that? You need to find out how do you take hard work and working smart and blend them together. When you do that, when you reach that level of understanding, and you say to yourself, I'm going to talk to this many people a day because that's the goal I need to reach. When you believe that you can do it. See, what the mind conceives and believes, it will achieve. So you have to believe it. But if you believe it, you must work towards it. So I teach basics, you know, and I believe in certain statements and certain things that people tell me. And I once went to a meeting many years ago, and I do mostly everything right as a salesperson, as a manager. So it was on a Sunday, and I didn't want to go on a Sunday because I was always working extra hours. But I did go, and the crux of the meeting is work hard, work smart, look at the home you can buy, look at the great vacations you can buy, look how rewarding it is. And it was great. And it impressed me because I already did that. But the one thing that impressed me and maybe changed my life a little bit in a small way is they give out a car that was about an inch and a half wide and about 18 inches long. And they said, go home, put this on your mirror. When you get up in the morning, you shave or you put makeup on, and look at this, repeat it. Repeat it on the way to work. And I seen them on the tables, and I seen them, people leave them, probably left them in their car. And if you were to ask me today, 15 years later, I would tell you that I probably was the only person in that room that put it on the mirror. And I had my mirror so long it turned yellow. I'm good, I'm getting better, I'm the best. And if you think that and you believe that and you work towards it, little things like that to me are important. There's certainly a lot of basic, a lot of training things, but we certainly don't want to get into that. But set those goals, hang with winners, try reaching the goals, figure out how you have to reach a particular goal, and really care about yourself and the fellow person. It comes back to you in spades. The car business, though it's tough, there's demanding hours, is simple. And I don't mean this in any way to offend anyone. Any fool can sell cars, because this fool did. I sold a lot of cars in my day, just the fact that I have pride in what I do, and I probably have had 1,500, 2,000 people work for me. If you gave me the time, I could probably list 100 names of those people who are still in the business. They're managers of all capacities, and I know, and I'm very proud of it, that they probably make anywhere between $100,000 and $1 million a year. If you're a good person and if you're a good manager and you can sell and you know how to sell and you're successful, what you want to do is, if the people that work for you, you have to do your best job to clone them. So I'm proud to say I've touched a lot of lives, and that makes me happy. The advice I really have for salespeople, and I can tell you this, that we know these statistics from many years ago. 80% of the people that come into this business fail. 80% fail. And some fail for a variety of reasons. But I can tell you, my years in the business, and most of it's been in management, and like I said, I trained a lot of people, and certainly have trained many managers and even dealer principals, is we fail because the dealership, the dealer principal, the managers never provide the salespeople with knowledge. They must be trained. There's a lot of systems out there, and I think in the years that are ahead of us, I heard this many years ago: keep doing what you've been doing, and you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. If you run your business like we did years and years ago, you're not with the times. And we all talk about CSI, but again, you must do things differently in this tough market. And differently doesn't mean necessarily go out and spend a lot of money, but it's where you're spending your money. Your money needs to be spent in education. You need to hire people. You must train them. You must train them in every facet of the business. And if they're trained, they're going to stay with you, because the object is to keep the people in your dealership, not keep turning them over. That's going to cost you a lot of money. What joy is to walk into the dealership and someone to buy a car in 2004 and come back in 2006 or 2008 and see the same salesperson, same manager there. That's retention. And you need to not only train, you need to pay attention to retention products. That's the way you do business and these stuff, and different times. I'm a believer on special finance, and I guess I've been in some dealerships where I've turned them around, and one dealership particularly is because he was really not paying attention to special finance. And special finance means that there are people out there in this world, and it's unfortunate, and the number grows every day, every week, every year, that are financially challenged. Doesn't make them a bad person. So you need to bring in banks and institutions that will lend money to people that are financially challenged. Because again, it does not make them a bad person because they have bad credit. So there's probably 30% of the business you're going to write, not in all markets, in some markets, that if you are not set up for special finance, you are going to sell a lot less cars. And again, by selling the cars to these people, I always found it rewarding when a person was financially challenged, that we can put the deal together, piece it together, and to see the smile on that person's face or their family's face that we sold them a car. Don't look at it as a business. Don't look at it as a job. Look at it as you can take this pen. That's the only thing you need. Is you come to work, you're clean, you come to work, you bring your best attitude with you, bring your pen. And you can get a cheap pen for probably, I still think today, 25 cents. For that 25 cents, you have started a career. Does not mean because of anything that you have in your background, if you think as a career opportunity, and you work and you set your goals and surround yourself with good people. And I tend to repeat the same thing, because if I was to train my son or daughter how to walk, would I not repeat? If I was to train a parrot, in some cases use bad words, how do you do it? They didn't hear that bad word once, they heard it many times. Repeat, repeat, repeat what you hear. Listen, write it down, be willing to train, work hard, and just say, I have just opened my own business for probably 25 cents. And I'm going to do everything I can to succeed for myself, for my family, for my children, and maybe someday I'll be an owner making a lot of money. And it's a lot of pride in knowing that you started something and you finished it and you're successful. That's the advice I would give.